So this is a maths lesson all to do with fractions, and I'm saying it a bit like that because I know loads of us, even as adults, can still find fractions really challenging. So there is a very, very high chance that your child will find this difficult. So try and keep that in mind, try and stay relaxed and positive, be open and honest with them if you find this area of maths also difficult. And as with anything in learning, take it all the way back to the beginning if you're not sure. So to start with this lesson, I would just do a really basic input to make sure that they understand what a fraction is. So a fraction is a part of something. It can be part of one thing, like half of an apple, or it can be part of a group of things, so half of all the apples on a tree. And between you and your child, see if you can come up with some other examples of part of one thing and part of a group of things. Then I would suggest starting with equivalent fractions. This is probably the easiest area to begin, and then build your way up to all the other more complex areas of fractions that are available to learn. So that a half is the same as 2 quarters, which is the same as 3/6, which is the same as 4/8. And you can show this using a pizza or a cake. That can your child understand that you both have the same amount, but the fraction that goes with that looks different, and the pieces look different, but it's still the same. It's equivalent. Okay, so that's the kind of input I would do, but use your own words, use language that you know your child would understand. If they don't get it, just move on from this. It's definitely an area where children build a lot of anxiety up around, and it's really hard to progress their learning in this part of maths once they start getting anxious about it. So just keep it fun. That's why I've used pizzas, so the pizza game, because we can build some good positive connections with pizza and maths, and keeping it all light-hearted and fun is really important. So I'm going to show you now the pizza fraction game. Give it a go. If it doesn't work for your child, then just leave it, move on to something else. They will get fractions, but for some children it doesn't come till a lot later, so don't worry if that's the case for you guys. Okay. Oh well. Okay, so this looks like quite a lot of setup, but it honestly only took me probably less than 5 minutes, and most of that was just chopping up vegetables. One of the things you will need, which if you've got a board game and you can get a spinner from, then great, but if not, to make a really basic at-home spinner, just get a matchstick, stick it in the top of some blue tack, and then put a paper clip on, and then that will just spin around like this, and that will work. So you'll need 2 of those, and you're going to need 1 plate with your fractions on here, and you'll make the fractions as difficult as easy as you like depending on what level your child's at. And obviously if drawing the fraction is making it too easy for them, then don't do that. You could just do it like this. Then 4 different toppings. Again, you could have multiple toppings and lots of fractions, especially if your child's in Key Stage 2, and then a plain pizza, or get a pepperoni one, and you can take the pieces off and put them as one of your toppings. So to play the game, ask your child to hit the spinner. It's landed on 1/8. Now for the topping, it's landed on red peppers, and now they're going to put 1/8 of red peppers onto their pizza. 1/4 of onion. 3/4 of courgettes, 1/4 of cheese, and you can just keep layering that on top, and that's it really. Basically show them that whether it's a half, 2/4 or 4/8, these are all equivalent fractions, and then eat it.